Hello my friends, welcome to Home and Garden. If you are new to my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell so you will be updated to all my new videos. So today I am going to show you all the flowers that I have in bloom right now, and they do have white blooms. And also I'm going to give you a tour to all the hydrangeas in my garden, which is not in bloom right now, but I'm just going to give you an idea on how I add them in my garden. Okay, so let's start in the backyard first. This one in the middle of my backyard, this is the Korean spice viburnum. They are perennial plants and they are shrubs, and they do start their flower buds in pink, and then when they bloom, they have this white, beautiful and scented flowers. This one is the actual size of this viburnum. They have these tiny flowers, but look at the clumps. They are so big and they are so beautiful. So I do have a lot of bloom right now. If we're gonna go around to this trellis, you'll see around here and on that side are all the viburnum flowers. So I'm just gonna back up a little bit and you'll see how much bloom I have in this plant. My azalea still doing good, and now my rhodie are almost in bloom. And look at that, the viburnum. Look at this; they are so beautiful. The bees like it. So this one again is planted in the middle of my backyard, and I add them with the clematis, and also I have a trumpet vine, which is this pointy vines in here. That's all my trumpet vines. So let's check the other side of this plant. Wow, that's how much they gave it to me this time. So I don't really trim this plant. I just let it be and grow, but they don't really grow really tall. Oh, look at that beautiful blooms. I'm so excited. I want to get some cuttings so I can put it inside my house because this, even though you only have one flower, the scent is really, really good. They're not a very strong scent. They are very pleasant, very nice, and you'll love it when you see it if you have this in your yard. Okay, let me just give you a little bit of up close to the actual tree of this Korean spice viburnum. Now we are going underneath this trellis, and this one is the actual tree of the viburnum. This is not really a big one. It's not going to take a lot of space to your garden, so this is perfect. If you are buying shrubs, this is perfect to add it to your garden. And look again, look at this massive, beautiful flowers. I love them. If you can see this in person, this one is actually like really white. There's like a yellow in the center, and then around it there's a little bit of pinkish on the petals. But look at that beautiful flower, so nice. So I also add the bleeding heart underneath this viburnum. So let's just check it out and let's see what they're doing. So that is my beautiful bleeding heart. They're so pretty. Look at this. Why do they call bleeding heart? first it looks like a heart, and it's a open heart. And look, this one stem over here, all the way here, it looks like that's a lot of hearts, bleeding hearts. So there's like about 15 bleeding hearts on this one stem that I'm holding right now. So they don't like direct sun, so I just add them with my shade plant, and they're doing good underneath this viburnum bush. So I also add more on this side, and they are doing good. So I propagate them as well because this I never tried the cutting to propagate them by cutting, but they have roots, and that you can split the roots and divide them and add it to the other side of your garden. So now from one bleeding heart, it looks like I think I do have like about 4 bleeding hearts now. So on this side of my garden, I mirror the bleeding heart. So one there, that's actually the mother of bleeding heart, mother plant bleeding heart. So this one is just my propagation that I got it from the mother plant. And next to it is actually another bleeding heart, but it is pink. So it's pink, beautiful pink hearts. I love them together with my tulips. And there's more on this side, another white bleeding heart. And the pink one here. And another one on this side. This one I planted it behind the clematis, and they're doing good because they're not receiving a lot of sun on this side, so that's where they grow really tall like this. And look at the leaves, they're big, they're so beautiful. So adding to my tour for today, this is the sweet woodruff, and they do have white blooms as well, but they are really tiny. I just add them on this side because they don't really grow really fast, and they are considered a ground cover, but this one is already on my concrete. So I add them here as well with the bleeding heart and more here. I also add the sweet woodruff as an accent to the pots. So all these pots right now that I have here with my primroses, this is a big primrose. There is a hydrangea growing here. They're so healthy. And more hydrangeas. This is the big leaf hydrangeas. So I just plant them in the pots just to add some flowers closer to the porch. And I have also hydrangeas that, of course, planted in the ground. And that's what I'm going to show you next. I also add another hydrangea in this side. This is planted in the ground. This is one of my propagation hydrangea, and this is the lace hydrangea. And they have a mix of blue and also pink color of their flower bud. And actually, this brown one here is the actual flower, but this one is from last year. I might just miss to cut this, but that's the actual petals but of course they're gonna be pinkish and bluish color. So that's healthy. That is a healthy leaves. And I do have also in this side, I added in the middle of this flower cut garden. This is planted on the other side of my backyard, and they're not doing good because it's too much sun that they're receiving. So now in this side, they're doing very good. They are next to the pine tree, so they're receiving shade, and here the afternoon sun it's blocking by that pine tree, so they're doing good. So I have four of them. I use them as like a divider with my flower cut garden and also my primroses on this side, and they are doing good. So this one here, this lace hydrangea, this is a dark blue bloom. Right now, of course, you're not gonna see it. I trimmed them because they're really tall. They're almost like taller than the Viburnum, and I don't want to get that too tall because I want to see the view when you're walking in this pathway. I want to see here on this middle garden. Well, I call it like a secret garden, but I want that view. So I just trim them and make it like same height as the other plant. So I do have this lace hydrangea in here, which is still doing good. I trimmed it last year. Another one that I add here, and of course all of these dead branches, I need to trim them. And another one there. This is all like matured hydrangea when I move them in this side, because they are planted in the middle of this yard, and I don't like the way that they just planted everywhere. So I just organize them and put them together so it will look very nice and neat. So let's check out the other hydrangea that's planted in the backyard. This one is towards my roses garden, the rose garden. So here are my roses, but with this video we are going to highlight the hydrangeas. I'm gonna give another tour for just all my roses that planted, my climbing roses and my other roses. So here is another hydrangea that I added actually like 2 years ago. So I add actually like 4 bushes of hydrangea here together with my perennial geranium and also roses. So going back to this side, I've shown this part of my garden last time, and here I just want to show you the other hydrangea that I put in the pot. So this one I actually cut them clearance last year, and they're really like look dead, but now look at this beautiful foliage. This is actually the panicle hydrangea, and they're doing good on this big pot. I add the English ivy that's variegated. So maybe in the future I might going to just plant them directly in the ground. So on this side I also have hydrangeas that planted in the pot. I put them underneath this tree. This is actually my peach tree and also my plum tree, and they are doing good in here. I just propagate them maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and this is how they look like now. They're very healthy. This is also a lace hydrangeas. Looks like there's some here that have the flower buds already, and actually this one is the nice view. That's the flower bud, and I plant them together with this daylilies. So on this side, this is actually my shaded plants. So shaded garden plants, and I have hydrangeas behind them. This is also all my propagation. This is pink bloom. Right now, again, we don't see any bloom. I'm just giving you a highlight on how they look like before they bloom. And so I use them as a border on this side. So I'm not gonna let them grow too tall because I want to see all this plant behind them, which is all the hostas and geranium and columbine. I do have rose campion on this side and some primroses. So I just let it be, maybe keep it that height and trim them every year. So some of these pots over here, I also planted the hydrangeas. This is also my cuttings. And I can see there is a flower buds already. That's really big. So I have to water this at least twice a day, especially at this time. They are really receiving a lot of sun in here. So I might just move the pot. They are planted on this pot. I just add them with the primroses and also some columbine and some of the succulents. But here you have to make sure they receive or water at least twice a day if you are going to keep them on the pots. So this is a big bush of the hydrangea on this side. This is actually my first hydrangea that I planted in my yard, and they're not really tall at this time because I keep them and trim them that height. I'm just gonna grow a little bit more just to level it to the fence. And this is also a lace hydrangea. I have one over here, and next to it are my rhodies. So I have a big pot on this side. I mirror them with this flamingo behind the flamingo. I mean, this is a big one. So this one is the big leaf hydrangea, and the bloom are white. And I add primroses underneath. And I mirrored that look onto the other side here. I also have hydrangea, also white bloom, and primroses. So that's how it looked like. And when they bloom, they really look pretty on this side of my garden. Okay, my friends, I'll see you on my next video. I hope you enjoyed for today's tour, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you will be updated to my new videos. See you next time. Take care.